More music.
Oh my god.
Here goes.
Blazing across the airwaves right now.
Get ready.
Now this is Freddie McGregor, and you're tuned in to the baddest rhythm of all time.
GrantRockWarehaus is trying to change the world one track at a time.
Are we on the air?
Yes, you are. More music. More of the time.
GrantRockWarehaus.
Don't understand what's going on here.
Welcome to GrantRockWarehaus, and we are live. It's another episode in the SLADE series. The Parish of Rock is here. We're looking at 1985 to 1991. We're just trying to turn you on to the SLADE.
Piling on the power chords and pure pandemonium. GrantRockWarehaus.
Oh yeah, we're just trying to turn you on to the SLADE, people. I want to thank, well, first of all, I want to thank the Parish for coming on tonight. The SLADE series continues, though. I think this is probably the end of it, though, unless we do something else.
Yeah, we could do a sort of a top 10 songs or something.
Yeah, we talked about that. But anyway, I do want to welcome everybody here tonight. We are live. Let's put on the comments. Let's see. I feel like I'm really loud. Hello, Parish. How are things in Aussie land? What are you talking about, Stephen? He has no idea.
It's okay in the UK, though.
Let me raise up your volume. You seem low. Let me look. Mic settings. Well, it's automatically adjusting your volume, so you should be all right. Kathy's here. We got Jim. Ladies and gentlemen, Cretan on a Thursday. Normally he is working, but he is also here. So that's impressive. Lee's here. Oh, absolutely. That's why I come here to listen and learn most of the time. It makes my pocketbook smaller. Lee, you have said that before, and you totally blame me. I understand that. But now let's blame the Parish tonight.
Absolutely.
There you go. Now I hear you. Now you sound really good. All right.
Yeah, I've just changed the mic over.
All right. It's perfect. All right. Michael's here. Nice to see you. Geez, there's a lot of, I can't keep up with the chat. Parish, it's a lot. Yeah. Kathy, hello, Parish. And yes, here we go. Annie T. Okay, we need to talk about this before we get going, Parish. We've had a lot of loss in the Warehaus, in Sea of Tranquility. Annie T passed away. If anybody knows Annie T, she passed away from a stroke. I do believe, might be a week ago. We lost Gary Joyce, the principal, who showed up on every Sea of Tranquility episode. He showed up here almost every episode. And then all of a sudden I saw Gary drop off, and then I'm going, what the heck? And Anthony Ferraro texted me, he said, did you hear about this? And I'm going, no. Gary Joyce, who was the biggest support, he was a big supporter here, big supporter on Sea of Tranquility, passed away, and he was born in 62, so that made him, what, 63 or something?
Yeah, 63, 64.
Oh, my God. What is going on? So anyway, it'll be a loss, because Gary was always fantastic in the chat. He never came on, but he was always present in the chat. Kathy says, I'm sorry to hear of Gary's passing. I wasn't too familiar with him, and my condolences to his family and friends. Yes, fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, Webb is here. Evidently, Ashley let him come on. Keith's here. Last night, Keith hit it out of the park for little-known bands. We had a little bit of a microphone problem, Parish, but we got over it. But those picks that he had, Keith, giving
Yeah, I
you
was
a
surprised
thought.
because I hadn't heard of any of them.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's what that show's about. I wish we could set the world on fire with that show, but we only can do what we can do. Yeah, Cretan says 63. Now, Davey Cretan he is keeping track of everyone who's alive and who's dead. Because his Facebook posts, all about death, all about people dying. He loves death. I don't know why, but he does. But he does keep track of it, and I do appreciate it. Anyway, I saw the tribute video. It was very nice. I mean, come on. I met Gary Joyce a year ago at Sea of Tranquility Fest. What a great guy. And I thought he was fantastic, but evidently we had a health situation. Things happen. This is what I'm telling you, everybody. Enjoy every day. Enjoy every day, because you never know what's going to happen. Anyway, let's get out of the doom and gloom. My wife would hate this. She didn't want to talk about any kind of death or anything like this. We're going to talk Slade. And we're going to talk Slade 1985 to 1991. Now we're going to play, we've got 4 tracks picked. We're going to play it as we always do. We keep it interactive. We're just trying to turn you on to the Slade material. And Parish, you and I both know that the 80s stuff and up to 91, a lot of people don't really know that stuff.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, we now really are into a period that only the diehards know anything about, really. And in fact, spoiler alert for later in the video, I actually listened to some Slade songs for the first time yesterday.
I've never heard. I didn't know that was possible, Parish.
I didn't know that was possible either. But we'll come on to it a bit later.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever look in the dictionary, the Webster's dictionary, and you think you see the definition of the band Slade, if you look to the right, there's a picture of the Parish.
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely big Slade fan. So, just saying. Anyway, let's start it off. We're going to start off with, we could either play a song or we could talk about it.
Well,
I think
let's put off talking about it and playing us.
Let's play a song. We've talked enough about things. Let me make sure I've got this correct. Yeah, I might not. Okay, we're ready. So we're going to go with the 1985 album, Crackers. Do you want to say anything about Crackers real quick before we play the track, though?
Well, I guess it's a compilation album of sorts. I think there's a few new songs recorded on it, which we'll talk about afterwards. But it's mainly a compilation. But quite a lot of the songs were re-recorded for the album, and this is obviously one of them. And it came out on Telstar, which is a subsidiary of RCA, and generally released sort of greatest hits and novelty albums, and I guess this is a novelty album, but we'll come on to that.
Yeah, but it kind of reminds me of, if anybody here in the States remembers back in the day when you'd be at home and watching cartoons or something, you'd have an ad come on. Hey, get this K-Tel album of top 10 hits. It's kind of like it's like Slade got to that point in 1985. Now, I'm not dogging Slade. You do what you have to do. Anyway, so we're going to listen to Come On Feel the Noise. This was re-recorded for the Crackers album in 1985. Let us know what you think. It is what it is. Let's do it.
Baby, baby, baby! So you think I got a legal mind? Well, I'll tell ya, honey. And I don't know why. And I don't know why. So you think my city time?
I got him all the way up, so hopefully that'll do it.
And I don't know why. And I don't know why anymore.
What are you talking about, Red? Just get money from your wife. What are you talking about? I don't have the latest prices. I'm giving out merch and the top-notch elite thing. I'm giving shit away. I shouldn't. It shouldn't be any different. My God.
Come on, feel the noise. Girls, grab the boys.
Oh, I know why. Oh my God. Oh my God. There you go. I'm sorry. I know. Well, you know, I'm distracted. All right, Yvonne, calm down. There you go. Remake from 1985. All right, kids, this is the problem. I'm used to doing these damn shows by myself. I don't have to click echo cancellation. I don't have to click any buttons. I just play music. So when we do a show where I have to go back and forth, it's like I have to get used to it again. So that's the problem. That's the problem. So there you go. Anyway, what did everybody think of that? Parish, thoughts on that?
Why re-record it? Didn't need re-recording.
Well, this is what you...
The original with Chaz Chandler's production was perfect. If you're going to re-record it, there's plenty of re-recordings of them doing it live.
Yes.
And that's fair enough, but this, what's the point? I just don't get the point.
Okay.
So this album was released, I mean, in the UK, Merry Xmas Everybody is played all the time over Christmas and generally gets back into the UK charts over Christmas. So they obviously decided with Telstar to try to cash in on that by having an album of kind of Christmassy songs. So on this, you've got covers of things like Santa Claus is Coming to Town. They re-record Merry Xmas Everybody. Here's to the New Year. Do They Know It's Christmas? Feed the World. Old Lang Syne for the New Year. And I have to say, I found a quote on this album when I was doing a bit of research for this episode, and the quote says, simultaneously the most joyous, raucous, loud sing-along album in the entire Slade catalogue, and the single most detestable record they ever made. And that sums up how I feel about it. I don't see the point of it. I mean, if you want to buy it to hear some Slade classics from the 80s, like We'll Bring the House Down, All Join Hands, My Oh My, Run Run Away, great, no problem with that. And they're not re-recorded, so they're definitely worth hearing.
Yes.
It's got covers like Let's Dance, which is rocked up, so it's, you know, it's not a particularly good song, but it is rocked up, so that's not too bad. But some of the tracks on it, like the Okie Kokie, is the Okie Kokie known as a song in the US? I don't know if it is or isn't.
I don't think so.
No, but it's a kind of a knees up song that your grandparents would have put on. But they do like playing it because I've got a version of that song live at Reading, live again a few years later. They actually released it as a single, and they used to do it live. And I guess live it was quite good fun. But I have to say, on record, it's pretty crap.
Well, I mean, if you're in a concert situation, Parish,
Yeah.
and you're having a few pints or whatever.
Well, and that sums up the album. If you're going to sit down and listen to it, this is not the Slade album to sit down and listen to. But if you're going to get your mates round, have a few pints, and want to have a party, then stick this on, and you will be up and dancing.
But you would look at this.
You might regret it the next day, but you will be up and dancing. So.
But the way you look at this record, and this is the way I look, I say that Slade at this point, we could use the term "jump the shark" because this just means that I just think that.
Yeah, I think they did. I mean,
the greatness that we've had in the past. This just like look at the album cover for one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, really, have we gotten to this point? That's
but
the
then Kerrang reviewed it and said this album features 16 tracks, 8 of our own in reworked form or in their own rework form. So, and they kind of go on to give it a reasonable review. So, I mean, it does contain the single. What's it called? Can't find it. Oh yeah, Do You Believe in Miracles? Which is actually quite a good song, and it doesn't appear anywhere else. So if you want that song, it's worth having. Look, it's
but for one track, was that released as a single though?
Yeah, it was released as a single.
Well, just get the damn single.
But to be honest, if you go in a record store, they'll probably give it to you. I mean, they'll probably pay you money to take it away, so you can get a decent song and get some cash at the same time. I would suggest with that album.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, I don't have much use for this record. It's just a cash grab. It's kind of sad. It's depressing.
They do seem to have enjoyed recording it. Having read both Dave Hill and Noddy's biographies, they both said they had a lot of fun recording it. So, maybe they got drunk when they were doing it as well and had a bit of fun. I don't know. Anyway, don't buy it, guys. This is not the album to get. If you're going to get a greatest hits or a best of, there's thousands out there which are worth getting. If you really want to get the best of the 1980s, find that one. This is a really good.
Hang on, let me make you big. Show us that one.
So that's I would say the definitive version of Slade in the 80s.
Okay.
And this has a re-recording of Mama We're All Crazy Now on it. But it's live.
No, we don't need.
No, this is live and it's really good.
Okay.
On this one. So so if you want a compilation of 80s songs from Slade, that's the one to get. Definitely not that. That's going to go back in the bin where I got it from before we did the show.
Okay, wait a minute, Dave. Sid was trying to tell me that Golden Earring is the only long-term band who doesn't have a bad album. That's not true. There's a lot of bands that have never put out a bad record.
I mean, I would tend to discount this album.
But Sidney, though, very limited in his scope. I will go and you can look behind me and see the poster behind me. Never put out a bad record. In fact, there's a lot of bands behind me that never put out a bad record. So anyway, we're just keeping it real. Anyway, do you have anything more to add on this record? Now, if you're a completist, maybe this record's for you, but I don't.
Yeah, well, I bought it, didn't I? So,
you're a completist.
And it got in the charts as well. I mean, it did quite well. Got the top 30 album chart. So I guess they made some money out of it. So. All
right, well, let's keep going. We're going to go to the next record. Now we're hold on, let me get rid of this graphic. We're going to look at You Boys Make Big Noise from 1987. Now, I do want to add this, that in the UK, it came out on RCA, But in the US, and I should have pulled mine like an idiot, I didn't, came out on CBS. So it got a domestic release.
Different track listing.
Different track listing, yes, because they put on, You Boys Make Big Noise, which was a single. They
The title track. Yeah.
The title track. In the UK, they didn't include it. But if you guys are familiar with like the Beatles stuff, the Beatles never put, the singles were never on the albums. And so You Boys Make Big Noise, that was a single. So they didn't put it on the album. It's kind of funny, though, that because it was a title track that they never put it on there, but okay, it's fine. We're not going to play that. The pair suggested playing that, and I already picked the track listing. We're going to play Sing, Shout, Knock Yourself Out. Should we just play it, Parish, and circle back around?
Just go with it, yeah.
We're just going to go with it. When it came out, Cretin. Kelly says this is cheese. Kathy says this is one of the better tracks.
She's a mover. She's a mover.
Yvonne loves this thing. Yvonne, what did you say?
Oh, ain't you got no home to go to?
Cretin, you must not have been paying attention. Apple Venus is a masterpiece. Visibly shaken this whole show. Well, I'm going to throw it over to you, Parish, before I say anything. What's your thoughts on this record, this album, or this track?
Well, we'll go with the album. So this is the last Slade.
Here,
album.
I'm gonna look. Oh, there you go. Now, look, Cretin. Parish has the US cassette, which is odd
No,
that
that's
he had.
the UK cassette is what I have.
It isn't? I thought that was the US.
No, it's the UK.
So they use.
It's the
US. We talked about this before.
It is the US. Yeah, it is the US. Yeah.
Yeah.
The US cassette.
So we talked about this before, but I don't know how you ended up picking up the US cassette, but that's it. And it came out on CD and cassette, and it got pressed on vinyl in 87. Yep.
Yeah, it is. It's the US.
And it's got the US track listing too, right?
It has.
We talked about that. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Learn something new. So
Wait a minute. Apple Venus. Hold on, Michael. Apple Venus for me was a master for what? Because it had strings, because it had beautiful production, because it was some of the best songs XTC ever wrote. I really like you to dwell. Apple Venus is absolute masterpiece. Oh my God. It is a beautiful record. See there, and then he didn't like that. I played the album by the Keys. He didn't like the one track by the Keys. I'm looking at Michael in a different light. I'm kind of worried about him now because Apple Venus is a brilliant record. Martin Popoff doesn't like it either, so I'm grouping him with you. I'm just giving you crap. Anyway, sorry, Parish. Go ahead.
yeah, so their last album came out in 87.
Yeah. This is it. This is really considered. This is the last record.
This is the last record. So what do I think of the album? Well, it kind of starts poorly. I'm not keen on the first two tracks, Love Is Like Rock and What a Friend's For. But then I think it gets a lot better. So Still the Same is a really good sort of sing along. Fools Goes Crazy is a really good rocker, which isn't on the American version. She's Heavy is a really good sort of pop rock song. We Won't Give In again is another kind of ballad sing along. You Won't Rock With Me is the best track on the album, but Ooh La La in LA, which I think was taking the piss out of hair metal bands, I think it's really good. Me and the Boyz is a great foot stomper. The song that we just played, I know a lot of people said it didn't sound like Slade, but I really like that song, and I think it's typical classic sort of later Slade sound. Roaring Silence is kind of that Celtic feel that they went with on Run Runaway, and then the final track, It's Hard Having Fun Nowadays, I think is another good rocking song. So I think as a finest album, it gets better as it. Can you hear an echo?
Oh, well, I can't, but you can because. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so I think the album gets better after the first couple of songs and builds towards the end, and probably the last 4 or 5 tracks are the best tracks on the album. So I like it. I liked it at the time. Obviously didn't realize it was going to be the last album. And I like it now as well. So I mean, I would give it a solid 8 out of 10.
All right. Well, I know we didn't.
The previous one I couldn't score.
What would you give the previous one? You can't even give it a score.
No,
this record, I'm kind of with you. It's kind of like a kinder, gentler Slade. I don't have any problem with this record. Goldie's coming in as a disappointment. Well, there's no echo now. West Coast Dave, no band except maybe the Police has really all great. Oh, bullshit. That's bullshit. Webb. Good Lord. Do some research. That is bull crap. The Police. They put out 5 records.
And I don't like 3 of them.
And see, the Parish doesn't like 3 of them. So there you go.
I love the first 2, but I don't like the next 3.
There you go. We're gonna have to do a show. We should do a show about bands that did not put out any bad records. That might be good.
I think Ash is being very kind to give Crackers a 2.5.
Oh man, Ashley, really? You're gonna give Big Noise a 6 and Crackers a 2.5. All right. Oh, look, it's gone on to a police tangent. West Coast Dave's given a 4 out of 5 on the Police. I like all the Police albums. The one that I never returned to, and you're going to laugh at me. I know we're on a tangent, but whatever. We're just talking. It's a live show, people. I never returned to the debut album.
I love the debut.
I don't. It's okay. That used to be my favorite, but then I don't return to it. And okay, this is how I would rank them now: Ghost, Regatta, Zenyatta, Synchronicity, and then the debut. That's my ranking. Go ahead, Parish. Rank them.
Regatta, Outlanders. Don't give a shit after that, to be honest.
Okay, we got just 2. So there you go.
Yeah. I just think they sold out and went pop and chased.
Yeah, but if you think about how, I don't think that was planned, though. I don't think that in their brains they were thinking of it. I think Sting, once Stewart kind of handed over the reins to Sting ran with it, and he was so advanced, and his songs were so good. I think that if you ever watched that Rick Beato interview with Stuart Copeland, I think Sting was just on a creative peak, and I think he just ran with it.
It was on a creative something. I'm not sure.
100%. Now, whether you like
the word I'd use.
whether you like it or not, that's what happened. So, all the bad albums makes the good ones even better. Well, maybe.
Look,
I don't think that's true. Anyway, go ahead.
Somebody else said in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
We can't all like the same things, can we? So there you go.
I get it, but I love giving people crap, though. Kathy, have you given Monkey House a listen yet? D Rocker's pushing. We're chatting right at this moment. Parish, have you heard of the band Monkey House?
I haven't. No.
Are you a fan of Steely Dan?
Not really.
You might not like Monkey House then.
Oh, okay.
I haven't heard Monkey House. Yes, Yvonne, you are 100% right. I love Ghost in the Machine. All right, let's get back on track. I like shooting the shit. I like going on a tangent, but we're talking Slade. Anybody in the chat let's bring it back in, because people are going to bitch that I lost control of the show and I'm not keeping it on track. Anybody got a rating out of this record? I would give this record, me personally, I don't think it's a bad record. You get a little bit more of the poppy side of Slade. I'd probably give this a 7 out of 10. And what did you give this, an 8, Parish?
8, yeah.
An 8. I don't have a problem with this record. I will have to sing, shout, knock yourself out is a little bit commercial, but hey, it is what it is.
I mean, it's again, it was reviewed in Kerrang, and it's odd, really.
What did they say?
I'll tell you, I'll find it.
Goldie Walks is giving it a 6 out of 10. Jim is coming in with a 6 out of 10. I mean, I don't have a problem with the 6 out of 10. Kathy's coming in. First time you played was a 5. This one is a 7. All right, perfect.
So here it is. Kerrang said, all the songs bear the unmistakable Slade stamp, 12 potential singles, 12 stomp-along, sing-along choruses. Ironic that it had 12 potential singles, and yet it didn't actually have any hits off it. So, but what is interesting is the reviews in America were really good. So Billboard actually gave it a really good review. Cashbox gave it a really good review. In fact, Billboard go to say that this might be their breakthrough album.
So there you go. Maybe for the U.S. market, though I don't remember. I remember it coming out. It was on CBS. I don't remember much of a buzz about it, and I never see any in the used bins ever.
No.
I don't know. It just never took off. Well, let's keep going. We're going to go. I think a 6 out of 10 is a fair. I think that's fair.
But before we move on, I mentioned that I hadn't I'd come across some songs I'd never heard before. So
Okay.
I was playing this on the train yesterday, and so I had it on Spotify, and it had the bonus tracks that were on the CD that came out in the early 2000s, and I hadn't heard any of the bonus tracks. So, well, most of them. So it's got "Gotta Go Home," which was the B side of one of the singles. "Don't Talk to Me About Love," again a B side. "Wild Wild Party," another B side. And I hadn't heard those before. And to be honest, they're better than any of the tracks on the album. I just thought they were fantastic.
Okay.
And they're really good heavy rock, dare I say, hair metalish in their sounding.
Let me see if I can find it. Give me a I don't know, give me a track.
Go with "Don't Talk to Me About Love."
Okay. Okay, because it was a bonus track on the reissue.
Yeah.
All right, let's just play it real quick and everybody get your thoughts on it. I'm open. All right, here we go.
Shake off the snake is making the break. Show me the door and tell me some more. Go jump in the lake.
It reminds me of AC/DC.
So now let it rip. You've nothing to lose. It moves, so button your
It kind of reminds me of AC/DC.
Yeah.
If that is not an AC/DC riff, I don't know what is.
There's ants in your pants.
I mean, what is that riff from that? It's an AC/DC riff.
Chance of a duck, you just have a chance. I said, don't talk to me about love, love, love. No, no, don't talk to me about love.
It's Jailbreak.
It is. Yeah.
It's Jailbreak. Thank you. Thank you, buddy.
This guitar bit is good.
I ain't very brave.
I like it, but it is Jailbreak.
Oh no, not again. Will you tell me when I don't misbehave?
Lee digs it.
Don't talk to me about love, love, love. No, no, don't talk to me about love, love, love.
I'm glad someone knows how to work it.
Don't talk to me about love, love, love.
It's hard to post, press buttons with graphics up, and run audio. It's very AC/DC like, but I don't have a problem with it.
But I really like that. So there were 3 songs I've not heard before, so that was a big surprise.
All right.
And you've got to play a bit of the title track. "You Boys Make Big Noise."
Okay.
It is so fun. And if you think that was ripping off AC/DC, and I agree, it is mixed with Motley Crue. That's who it reminded me of a bit, was Motley Crue. But this next one, the next one is kind of a, I suppose it's a rip-off, but they said it's a tribute. So, title track.
All right, let's play it. You boys, I don't have the graphic. You're just going to have to pretend.
Yeah.
We're freestyling here in the warehouse tonight. Here we go. You boys make big noise. All right, here we go. Maybe. There we go. It does seem low, but I can't adjust it anymore. Yeah, that's more like it. is still kind of AC/DC though.
Beastie Boys. It's
Or Beastie Boys.
and apparently it is about the Beastie Boys. Like big boys.
Record on the DJ show. Well, the wind don't blow, mama don't know. Say you got a lot to say. I know that you big boys make a big noise. Nobody get in the way. And we drop a rocket to get you in the guts. It's better
It's very Beastie Boys.
one piece of plastic is a hit. Then a monster gets a blast that drops you in the head. On the wind don't blow, mama don't know. Say you got a lot to say. I know that you big boys make a big noise.
I don't dislike it though.
No, that's good.
Hello, sailor. Do you want to buy it?
It ain't my cup of tea. But his shirts can smell really mean.
People wash it not only white but clean.
Mr. Man, you really wanna rock it.
Exactly. It is a party track.
Lady Danger looking good as ever.
Can't afford a rum, the never.
Well, the wind don't blow, mama don't know. Say you got a lot to say. I know that you big boys make a big
I don't bag on Kiss. I like Kiss.
No.
way. Well, the wind don't blow, mama don't know. Say you got a lot to say. I know that you big boys make a big noise. Nobody get in the way. Here come the boys to make a lot of row. Mama, we're all crazy now.
All right, there you
Well, that
go.
was different. Yeah.
Wow, it's a lot different than the 70s material.
They
But
were
then it's
certainly
not.
mixing it up. No, it's not really.
But not really. All right, Body's going, that's a fun song. I don't. Hey, they're in 1987. They've got to do something. I don't have a problem with it. There are other
So-
bands that I really despise what they did in the 80s. This doesn't bother me.
So that was it. That was them gone as far as albums were concerned. They did
Well,
release
Webb-
two more singles.
Hold on, Parish. Webb, I was building my Patreon empire. I only have so much time to do all this stuff. You have to wait. It'll come. All right. Anyway, go ahead, Parish. Sorry.
Yeah, so they released two more songs as singles.
Okay.
Radio Wall of Sound.
Yeah, we'll play that first. Go ahead and talk
wanna
about
play
it, and
that?
I'll get it ready.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay, so that came out in 91. Was a hit. They released the greatest hits album, Radio Wall of Hits, imaginatively, and they had two new tracks on it, which were the two singles. If the two tracks had been hits, this came out on Polydor. If the two tracks had been hits, then they were going to record a whole album with Polydor. The first one was a hit, the one you're about to play. But the second song, whilst it's really good, unfortunately wasn't a hit. So Polydor pulled the plug, and at that point, NoddyHolder left. So what
And
we're
that
about
was
to
it.
hear,
All
that
right.
was it. Noddy decided to go off and do some acting. So, yeah.
All right, let's play it.
but
We'll play
Let's
it.
play this.
All right, we'll play.
This is Rockin' Radio.
I like this
Wall
song
of
quite a bit.
Sound.
Stay tuned to this frequency.
This is Rocking Radio, the wall of sound, the music that rocks, the music that shocks, the music that comes to you from everywhere, as this is the music of the mind. I love that music, I love that sound, I love that record, I love that noise.
Dave.
I love that music. I love that sound. I love this new channel I found. I love that record. I love that noise. This frequency is my favorite.
Is that Noddy singing that?
The verse is Jim Lee.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say it doesn't sound like Noddy.
All the sound, 24 hours of power. My head's spinning around. FM stereo sound. It tells me just who I am. Who's that telegram saying? I love that record. I love that noise. Now my girl rocks
Jim Lee.
Jim Lee produced it.
Yeah.
I love that sound. So just play the radio loud. Radio, all the sound coming up from my tower. Radio, all the sound WOS power. Radio, all the sound coming up from my tower. Radio, all the sound, 24 hours of power.
This is Slade Radio, the wall of sound, the music that rocks, the music that shocks, the music that comes to you from everywhere. Cause this is the music of the mind. I love that record. I love that sound.
Very anthemic. Yes.
This is the big one. This is the wall of sound.
I love that music, I love that sound.
You're listening to Radio Loud, wall-to-wall sound. The music comes to you from all
What are you talking about, Ivana? Hair metal by 91 was dead.
I love that
You
noise.
think the music's here, it's not, it's inside your head. You are the wall of sound.
Radio, all the sound coming up from my tower. Radio, all the sound, 24 hours of power. Radio, all the sound coming up from my tower. Radio, all the sound WOS power. Radio, wall of sound.
Stay tuned to this frequency.
Well, all I can say is that a anthem for 1991, Parish.
Yeah, so that was their first top 20 hit in the UK for 7 years. It was a hit across most of Europe. I thought this was going to be their next comeback, but unfortunately it was a one-off. Well, the next song is good as well, but as
We're
a
going to
hit,
play that too.
It was a one-off. But yeah, I think it's ironic really that their last hit didn't feature Noddy singing on most of it and Jim Lee singing on most of it. So it was but anyway, it's also on YouTube. Top of the Pops appearance, which is really good. They seem to be having a lot of fun. So yeah, a good final. I think a good final sort of single for them.
So answer me this: did this come out before Universe?
Yeah, this came out
Okay.
before Universe.
All right, so
Yeah.
we're going in the right direction. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, 87, 86, you know. Wait a minute. Oh, throw that up there, Parish.
That's Universe.
Yes, we're going to play that one. This single, what's everybody in the chat think? Yay or nay on this Slade single? I give it a yay. I think it's good.
Yeah.
Anthemic. Was this, okay, here we go. Was this the first hit since Runaway?
No, I think they'd had a couple of hits after this.
Okay.
I'd have to go back and check. I think My Oh My may have been after Runaway from memory. All Join Hands was certainly after Runaway. That was a hit.
Yeah.
But
D
it was the
Rockers.
first,
Yeah, go
first rock, the first sort of up-tempo rock hit that they'd had since Runaway. That's certainly
Okay.
the case. The others were ballads.
All right. Well, let's play Universe. We're like 50 minutes in, so Probably should keep moving.
Keep
Universe, 7-inch single. It came out in 1991, and as the Parish said, this did not do anything. Correct?
That's right. Well, yeah, it didn't. I think it got to 95 or something in the chart. So,
I can find it. Oh, there it is. God, I hope that's right. All right, let's play Universe again. The last track I totally dig, and this is a ballad. Go, let us know what you think. We're just trying to keep this interactive. Let's do it.
Wrong song.
What is that?
Merry Xmas, everybody.
That? Uh-oh, maybe it won't let me play it. Let me look. Let me try again.
Merry Xmas is the B-side.
How about see if this works? That's the same thing. It won't let me play it.
I won't let you play it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what you call a problem.
Well, play that instead then.
I could play. Hold on. I'm not going to fail anybody. I am going to find it. Give me a minute because we will find it. I'll find it. Hold on. We'll play it. I wonder why it won't. It doesn't. That's on Spotify. Okay, here we go. I'm not going to fail. I'm not failing for this. Google Chrome. All right, here we go. Let's try this, see if this is all right. Hopefully there won't be any ads. That's it.
That is it, yeah.
Okay.
Getting nothing.
You don't hear anything? You hear it
now.
Okay. D-Rocker's coming in. The Universe is a 9. Slade doing a power ballad.
They invented them.
They invented them. I knew Yvonne. Look at this. This is Yvonne's whole world. Yes, get out your aligners. Hey, 2 out of 10. What the heck? I like this quite a bit. If we only had Dennis DeYoung singing on this. Jumping off the bandwagon. I don't know, I like it. my God. You people are it's a rough crowd in the warehouse tonight. Now we're going to another track. Goldie Walks, yuck, not good. DC Epic Power Ballad. Let me turn on echo cancellation because I'm sure we're echoing now. Epic Power Ballad. DC loves that stuff, so this is right up DC's alley.
It does have echoes of My Oh My, so that comment was accurate. Yeah. I reckon their hair was beginning to go, and they probably had a few bald patches. That's why
you think that's what it is?
I think that's why they've got the hats. Yeah, particularly Dave Hill. I think Dave Hill's fringe had receded totally at that point. So yeah, that was it. That was the last single.
Dave, where's your? What do you mean? Show your comments. All right, there's one. There's a Ken White one. Here's another one. Of course, now no one knows what you're talking about. No one knows what the hell you're talking about. All right. Michael says, I think half of my prom themes were named after Chicago tunes. Well, they were big in your era. Oh, gosh. DC says, I like some power ballads, but some are wall punchers.
True.
I'm going to miss tomorrow's show. I'm going to have some fun in Cincinnati. Well, I don't think there is a show tomorrow, Lee, so you're not going to miss anything. So don't worry. It seriously sounds like a follow-up.
It does.
Oh, my. Do you think that's what they were trying to do?
I don't know. It may have been. I mean, if they were trying to sort of resurrect a fan, the fans, etc., then yeah, having a song that sounds like a number 2 hit, I guess, is worth doing. But then, they always did ballads. I mean, like Every Day, and I mean, this isn't nearly as good as Every Day, but they always did ballads. So, but I think they signed off. The last album was pretty good. I think the last 2 singles are good, so they kind of signed off pretty well. Noddy had enough. He decided he wanted to get off the treadmill. Mm-hmm. As he put it, 25 years was longer than he had been in his marriage, so he felt it was time to move on. Jim Lee left soon after. And then Slade too. So Dave Hill and Don Powell continued as Slade too. Well, I never really got into Slade 2. Slade without Noddy, is not. I mean, I've seen them live quite a few times because I think Dave Hill's good, and the guy they brought in did a decent impersonation of Noddy. But yeah, it was just never the same without Noddy, as far as I was concerned.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I think all right. I think, is this stuff as good as where they were in their peak? I think
no.
Catchy.
I think Radio Wall of Sound is a fine song. It was a good single. So
I think they went out on a high mark to me. I think The Universe as a single, now maybe it didn't take off, but I think it's a fine ballad. I mean, it doesn't do them any disrespect. I don't look at them poorly or anything because of it.
What I find odd, so we've just done 85 to 91. So 85 to 90 would have been the height of glam or hair metal.
Yeah.
Slade were a huge influence on that scene, as we know, and yet they didn't capitalize on it. They didn't. I mean, I think they could have released an album that would have sat straight in that middle of that, and they had the image. But definitely, if they had gone back to the 70s.
Yeah.
And I think they missed an opportunity, or they could have become, as a lot of people did, songwriters for others. I guess they did technically with some of the cover versions, but I think they could have had a few hits writing songs for other people at that point. And
Al says Slade was a power pop band at heart. Maybe, possible.
Yeah, I absolutely. I think they were. Yeah, and then, but the biggest miss for them, I think, was splitting in '91, because what came next? What came next was grunge, and at least 3 of the big grunge bands say they were heavily influenced by Slade. Whatever happened, Slade albums, seeing Slade live, so they could have stripped right back and been there in the Slade, kind of in the grunge, with the sound, and then along comes Britpop and Oasis that again pretty much stole Slade's sound and look. So they kind of just missed out. I think they could have capitalized big time through the 80s and the 90s in a way they never did.
Do you think they would have been accepted?
I was having this debate with somebody earlier today, actually, a friend of mine. We were having this debate, and he was saying being an influence on grunge or an influence on Britpop is not the same as having success. But I don't know. I think if they'd the fact that Nirvana, Pearl Jam, and Smashing Pumpkins were all big Slade fans, you'd have thought they could have taken them out on tour, wouldn't you? And sort of they could have talked them up. They could have had a mini revival.
I just find it odd, though, because, the Rolling Stones are still treading along here. The Kinks are still treading along. But it seems like that they were almost given a free pass. It's like whatever they did was fine. It always seemed to me that Slade, even though, think about their success that they had in the 70s, they weren't really given the free pass, if that makes sense.
No, I mean, it's odd, really, because, and this was the debate I had earlier with my mate Clive, but punk, you look at the Ramones, cite Slade as a huge influence, Sex Pistols, Stranglers, Damned, all quote Slade, and then you get to the American sort of hair metal scene and Motley Crue and Twisted Sister and Great White, all of those bands quote Slade as a huge influence. And then you get to grunge, as I said earlier, they all quote Slade as a major influence. And then you get to Britpop, and they all quote Slade as a big influence. Or you look at new wave of heavy metal, Def Leppard, Iron Maiden, Saxon, all quote Slade as a big influence. And yet they were never at that level of, say, the Rolling Stones or the Who. Or
because I think Some Girls came out in '76 and punk was starting up, and it just was fine.
Yeah,
about it.
So I don't know whether it's because they were more of a singles band than an album band.
Could be, maybe. Well, maybe. Parish, you bring up a good point. Because think about how they were perceived. Yeah, they put albums out, but I think that the market, or at least in the UK, they thought these guys were just a singles band and not an album band. I don't think they ever made that transition to being considered an album band. That might have been it, where the Stones put out brilliant records, albums, and they made that transition. Because let's be honest, the Stones, when they started out, of course, they were a singles band. Of course they were. Made that transition. Did Slade ever really make the transition to a band? No. I think that nails it. That is probably the reason why.
And I think the other problem is they obviously never got success in America. So I think that would have harmed them big time. But when you look at the number of bands and the different genres of bands that quote Slade as a huge influence, you could definitely mount a case that would say after the Beatles, the Slade were the biggest influence of any other band across the world.
Probably. Let me ask you this from a UK standpoint. How you got Slade, but the Bay City Rollers were a big deal. How did you perceive the Bay City Rollers? Because if you listen to the Bay City Rollers, gigantic. Well, Sweet was gigantic. Bay City Rollers, gigantic. And they were a lot more than just those singles that you heard. They were like a rock band trying to escape out of the
Yeah, so I mean, Bay City Rollers were just a teeny bop band over here.
But that's what that's the perception, but they were really a lot more than that.
Maybe, but that's how it's perceived. And they didn't.
No, that's what I'm saying. But
and they didn't write, certainly the hits they didn't write themselves.
Right.
Bay City Rollers. They did some of the albums. Sweet's the same. I mean, Sweet
exactly
like most of the hits. But again, I mean, to be honest, at the time I didn't like the Bay City Rollers. Over the years, I have become more of a fan. I think they were much better, but a bit like you said, they were more credible, much more credible than they appeared. But then I would argue you could say the same about a band like the Osmonds. I mean, the Osmonds didn't get much credibility at the time. But you listen to the albums now, some of those albums are really good rock albums. So
Crazy Horses, listen to Crazy Horses, or what's the other one? The Path. I think that's what it's called.
So I think there was a lot of sort of teeny bop bands that actually album-wise were better. Slade, I don't think ever was that kind of teeny bop band. Their audience were always more, the lads and the blokes, and like Slade as opposed to the girls, I think. So it was a different market.
I think that their downfall, and it depends on how you look at it. I think they were always considered a singles band. They were never, ever really, they never broke into the States. I
think Kathy's just made a good point. Nicki Minaj has quoted Slade as a big influence as well, apparently. I heard that actually, yeah.
Who? What'd she say?
That's what I'm mucking about. She said about Nicki Minaj.
DC, have you heard that god awful song by Nicki Minaj that samples that? It's called "Bees in the Trees." I got Kathy. You know better than mention Nicki Minaj over here. Come on.
Well.
But anyway, let's leave it at this. We've went over. I think they went out. I think going out with the Universe and the singles, I like them. I don't have a problem with it. They did their time. Noddy went on. Case closed,
AC/DC do count Slade as a big influence. Both Bon Scott certainly quoted Noddy as a huge influence on him, and Brian Johnson was actually in a band, Geordie, that was effectively a Slade ripoff. So
I've heard some Geordie tracks, Parish, and Geordie was not bad at all.
Geordie were a decent band. Yeah, they were.
You know what's funny? You can listen to those Geordie tracks and listen to Brian Johnson singing, and he really can sing really well.
He can, quite different, his vocals.
Well, and AC/DC's trying to mimic Bon Scott or whatever he's trying to do. But if you listen to those Geordie tracks, the guy is a fantastic singer.
Yeah.
He did a lot more in Geordie than he ever did in AC/DC, and AC/DC's just, doing AC/DC.
Exactly.
But
so that's it. That's Slade.
That's Slade.
Years, and that's not how long we've taken to do the show.
How long have we taken to do this? It's been a year, right?
Yeah, it has been a year. Yeah,
a year and a half.
So so that's it. So
all right.
we have to decide what we're going to do next, I guess.
Well, Parish, we need to decide. We need to decide.
But it's been a lot of fun, and it's been good to see people actually giving Slade some love in the comments.
We need something else, Parish. Let's do this. Think about it. We will circle around. We'll figure out something else.
Absolutely.
What would be good? We need something to turn people on to, though. Let's just think about it. Parish will be back. We'll come up with some other concept, another series that we can analyze. So if you have not...
Tom Jones, there's some good comments.
How about Tom Jones? That would take the Cult.
Cult's good. Quo's good.
Yes, Status Quo I can never get into.
Oh, well, there you go then. That's the one.
Why does everybody keep thinking about it? And if you have Queensryche, Queensryche. We did a T-Rex show on Sea of Tranquility. Wait a minute. Bebop Deluxe.
Now, Bebop Deluxe would be really good to do, but it would be a fairly short series. But
whatever. But then we could do it, Parish.
Yeah, definitely.
And we could move on to something else.
Yeah, Stage Dolls are good as well. At least the albums I've got by them are good. Heebie-jeebies. We're certainly not going to do Gary Glitter.
No, you can't even mention Gary Glitter here.
No, we can't mention him. Nor should we?
Status Close to Master. I like pictures of Matchstick Men. That's about it. All that boogie stuff. Ken's saying the Straubs.
Yeah, I mean, I could do the Straubs. I don't really know the Straubs, but
it's all about learning stuff.
I know the singles. House Martins would be good,
but 2 records.
Yeah, but then you'd.
But it's the same thing as Bebop Deluxe. But
House Martins follows on to Beautiful South. Would follow on from the House Martins. So
yeah, you could do that.
You could do that. Mud. Well, Mud wouldn't take long, but it'd be a lot of fun.
I don't have any Mud. I know that is it Cherry Red put out the Mud CDs, I think, reissues.
Smokey's a good shout.
I don't know Smokey, but I could know. You can get. The thing is that I like to do these shows, and I have to prep for them, and I like to do these bands that I've never heard before, or that I don't know that much about. That's really what I like to do. Me rehashing something that I already know, whatever.
Yeah, but if you don't know Smokey are pretty good.
Records.
Yeah, Bebop Deluxe would be good.
I don't know. Well, let's think about it.
Problem with some of these, like Susie Quattro and Mud, and is they were great singles, absolutely fantastic singles. But I don't think the albums were, the albums were hit and miss because they didn't put the singles on the albums, and the albums were loaded with cover versions. So.
I kind of want to do Bebop Deluxe because, like Ken says, 5 studio albums and 1 live album. And really, to go through their catalog, I've got all those CDs already.
Well, we could then do Bill Nelson's Big Noise. That was a couple of albums.
I've got that CD as well.
That's quite good. Well, it's definitely different. So we could do that.
I don't know. I'm kind of feeling Bebop Deluxe if you want to do it.
Let's do that then.
All right, kids, we've made a decision. We will be back next month. Parish, I will send you some dates. We'll start the Bebop Deluxe series. I guess we could do 2 albums.
Yeah.
Start out. Michael is not into Bill Nelson. DC. Well, we're only looking at White Noise or whatever.
Big Noise.
Big Noise. Jesus.
Bill Nelson's Big Noise. I mean, at the time, it was a shock to the system, but now I think it's really good.
I think it's a fantastic record. Look at this. Ken White. We've made Ken White's day. All right.
Well, I don't know if Goldie Wax is meaning nuts or whether he's meaning Dumpy's. What was it? Dumpy's nut. What were they called?
I've got those Nuts CDs. They put out what? They were Nuts first, and then they turned into another band. Do you know that band?
Yeah.
Nuts. What was the band that they turned into? They changed.
I don't know. I'm thinking of Dumpy's Rusty Nuts, which I think it's an altogether different band.
Does anybody want to be on Bebop Deluxe? It's in the chat that wants to come on. I mean, the Parish and I are always open for.
Yeah.
If you want to come on and rap with us, you're more than welcome. So let's do this. Leave a comment down below. If you're interested in doing Bebop Deluxe with us next month, leave a comment. We'll do the first 2 records, and we'll just go from there. And we'll see how DC said he's down. All right, DC will do it with us. if anybody else, just let it or send me a note. Whatever, you're more than welcome. It's what the Warehouse is about. All right, so we'll do the first 2 records, play some tracks. Maybe we'll play like 2 tracks from each record. They're so good. Those records are so good, though, Parish. And then we'll just keep it open. That's what we'll do.
Not only are they good records, they have some of the best album sleeves ever.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Those albums, yeah, fantastic. I mean, it was the album covers that got me to buy them in the first place. I remember. Victims.
All right, there you go. That's how we work it here in the Warehouse. We will be doing Bebop Deluxe next month. Parish, so far we have DC on this. I don't know if anybody else is interested. Leave a comment down below, and we'll bring you in. We'll have a little panel on this. All right, let's wrap this dog. Kathy, good night. Thanks everybody for sticking with the
thank you.
Series. We will be back. Good show, Captain. Well, we're doing what we can. All right, Parish.
Good.
Sir.
Thanks.
See ya.
Yeah, that was great fun. Cheers, guys.
All right, everybody. We'll see you. Keep it clean, Wrap the Rascal, and